Hello, I'm TU36 and welcome back to QnA Saturday. QnA Saturday is a weekly series I run on my channel where I answer your questions about a variety of subjects, usually focused around the next update for Minecraft console. Currently we're calling that TU36, and we now know the biggest feature is going to be battle mode. So in fact you're seeing gameplay of that in the background, and I'm going to be answering your questions about it, which come from Twitter and last week's Q&A. So hopefully you all do enjoy this week's Q&A. If you do, like it and let me know because it helps out the channel a lot, and let us know you do like Q&A Saturday and the TU36 and I don't know, other things I'm sure. But yeah, with that said, let's get straight into it, shall we? With the first question, which comes in from Evan. So Evan asks, at TU36, will there be any 1.9/1.10 features coming in TU26? So I presume it means TU36, because I can tell you for sure there are none in TU26. But yeah, in TU36, I do not imagine there'll be any 1.9 or 1.10 features. I believe it's mostly going to be centered around the whole new minigames thing, and then maybe they'll add a few, little changes to survival, but I don't think that's going to be the focus of the update. I really do think it's being focused around battle, because they really need to, put this update out there, then get feedback on it, and then kind of work on it. Do keep in mind, though, the team that works on updates is still working. I asked, is this rolling out with other features that accept this? And he said, oh yeah, that stuff's still being worked on, but it's not releasing at the same time. So just think of this as the battle update, and think of the next big update as being something separate. I know that's confusing to think about, but yeah, I would still expect 1.9 to come at the end of the year. In fact, I'd say more so now that they've been working on it. Oh yeah, that's just my assumption, though. So yeah, with that said, let's move on to the second question, shall we? Which comes in from owns_snipe, who says, #ToyCat for the win. Will mods come on Minecraft Consolidation? If they do, what mods will you purchase? So, what mods will I purchase for Minecraft Consolidation, and will they come in general? So, if mods did come magically, I'd purchase pretty much all of them for, I don't know, even mod reviews, or just to have fun with. I feel like, if you can spend, $2 and get something fun, I'd be willing to do that, because the number of hours I can get out of it. But, will mods actually come to the console? I do not believe they will anymore, because I believe, mods was something they kind of threw out there as a suggestion a few years ago, as we could do it this way or that way. I think the way they're going to do mods now is in minigame formats, because think about it, minigames are basically mods to some extent. Battle mode isn't just, normal survival Minecraft, it's got quite a lot of elements modified, whether it is the fact that you turn into a bat when you do it, whether it's the fact that you can take cool, there's all these little changes they made to kind of make it better, and I think maybe, this is just a kind of standard mod, and we could kind of work up from here. Imagine if they could have, a crazy modded survival through a minigame, so, they could call it even modded survival, and it'd be super wacky, and you could go to space. They could make a name for mod, but make that a minigame, and because it's separate from the rest of Minecraft, you don't have to do the whole thing of oh, what if someone has a mod you don't have in your world? Well, they can't play the minigame too. So yeah, that's what I think. I think maybe mods will come as a form of minigames. It's going to be really interesting to see exactly how that plays out, but I do think that, yeah, the current plan is minigames rather than mods, and what you expect as mods might be minigames, which is really confusing to say like that, but hopefully I described it well, and if I didn't, well, let's just pretend I didn't answer that question, and move on to the next one, which comes in from Adrian and Gamer, who has a hippo for a picture, who says, #QnA, in TU36, what minigame would you like to add? I love playing Skywars, and I want to know what you think. So, obviously, I like to believe this person didn't know, but I love Skywars a whole bunch. I've played it so many times on stream, and the only reason I've stopped doing it is because it's such a mess just to do. Being in my situation means that if I try to play with people, I just instantly get everything broken, and then some guy has their, settings turned on wrong, and suddenly we can't play Skywars. So, yeah, basically, I would love to see a Skywars minigame. You have no idea how much I would play over and over again, because the way I play Skywars, there'd be a 10-15 minute, gap between games. I'd love it if there was some way to play Skywars with a 60-second gap between games. I would play non-stop. You better believe I'd just be on there a week, and even the Hunger Games is enough to get me excited, but Skywars is the dream minigame. I don't think it'll be the next one. I think the next one will be something non-PvP based, but yeah, I would be very excited if it was Skywars, and you're not 4J, if you're listening, I'll give you $10 or something. Is that not enough money? Anyway, with that said, let's move on to the next question, shall we? Which comes in from Meme Films, who says, will you be able to make your own battle mode maps? So, will you be able to make your own battle mode maps? Unfortunately, you won't. So, there's going to be free, I believe it's free maps that are going to be available at launch for free for anyone to download, and then there's going to be 5 that you get in a map pack for $2.99, which I think that's a super fair price compared to any other game, and compared to, based on what you're getting, I think it's just about fair. But the thing that is kind of annoying to me is that there's no way to craft your own battle mode maps. If you want to play battle mode by yourself, you have to play and survive, you have to make a survival map and do it that way, and then you run into all the problems that there is before. What I would really like to see, because I understand why you can't play your own maps in multiplayer with strangers, that makes no sense. There needs to be fixed maps for multiplayer, but what I'd love to see is at some point in the future, they make a way for you to make your own private battle mode maps, so if you want to play with friends, you can have those systems in place, so you don't have a friend that's oh, sorry, I didn't know the grace period wasn't over, sorry, you dead now, we have to restart the game and spend 20 minutes. No, I don't want that. I want to have battle mode on your own private map somehow. I think it'd be so tricky to do. If you wonder why the big reason is, it's because they have to make a UI system. Like, oh, so you have to work out where the chests are, you have to work out what you're putting in those chests, you have to work out where the spawn is, the bounds of the map. There's so many different things you have to tell someone to do to make a battle mode map. Is there a limit on the map size? And that's why you probably won't be. You're definitely not able to at launch. At some point down the line, I'd love it if they did. But realistically, I just don't think they will, because, you know, but bear in mind, this is Microsoft who have bought them. They're going to be making lots of money on those map packs, and, you know, why give people the ability to make their own? Which sucks. I hate that that's the logic they're using, but it's what we're stuck with, I think. So, yeah, with that said, let's move on to the next question, which comes in from Ryan, who says, at IBX Toycat, will TU36 affect my life in any major way? And the answer is yes. You will wake up that day and you will feel like 10% fresher. But no, in all seriousness, will TU36 affect your life? Honestly, TU36 is one of these updates where it's either one of the best things ever, or it's like, I can wait for the next one. Because honestly, if you don't care about PvP, if you don't care about battle mode, there's going to be some changes here for you, but it's going to be one of the smaller updates ever in terms of those things for you. So, yeah, will TU36 affect you? It's either going to affect you a lot or not at all. And honestly, if you're not into PvP, this is the opportunity to start. Everyone's going to be at that same level where they probably haven't played many games of multiplayer, and they definitely haven't learned skills, and it's going to be really interesting to see, you know, if the community skill develops or if it doesn't. But still, I'd recommend get in on the ground floor, give it a try. If you don't like it at first, play a few games. If you hate after a few games, I don't know, then wait a few months for another update. But yeah, I think TU36 is going to be pretty good for that. We still don't know what else is in there, it's just presumably nothing else, but we still have to wait and see. So yeah, to move on to the next question, which comes in from Mystics Gamer, who says, hashtag QnA. You said LAN game for battle modes. Does that mean you can play with people connected to your internet, but on a different Xbox with no Xbox Live? So the Xbox Live question's been coming up so much, even though I answered it in the previous Q&A. You need Xbox Live to play battle mode online, whether it's privately or whether it's publicly. But if you want to play battle mode split screen, so 4 people on a local console, you can do that. If you want to play battle mode on LAN, like we actually did at the event and the gameplay you saw before we switched to, I think I'm going to switch to the PC hung games now, just for comparison. That seems fun. But yeah, the actual can you play with people on a different Xbox? Yes, you can play on LANs with that sort of thing. I believe so anyway. I've never actually done it. I've never had 2 Xboxes because, you know, I don't have enough money for 2 Xboxes. But, you know, if you just connect them directly via an Ethernet cable, I believe you can play LAN that way, and that means you can play 8 people all on the same system, no Xbox Live needed, which I think is pretty useful. So yeah, that's the answer to your question, Mystics Gamer. Let's move on to the next one, which comes in from Cliffic A, who asks a very out of left field question, who just says, will there be increasing the height limit? No. So the Pocket Edition developers have been hinting at increasing the height limit to 512. However, they said they're not doing it for a while now. It's definitely not coming to Minecraft in general this year, probably not even next year, but at some point in the future, they do intend to increase the height limit when, you know, like PCs, phones, etc. can handle it. So the thing about console that is interesting is this is one of those areas where they can actually do it relatively easy. The way console actually doubled the height limit is they actually have 2 separate walls that kind of remotely connect to each other. It's a really weird programming feat, but it's something they actually did do. So console could increase the height limit easier than other platforms, but I don't imagine they would until the other ones did. Unless, you know, it's an exclusive feature they're planning, but still, I don't think they would unless they had to, because even 2 worlds on top of each other creates some problems. And yeah, 4 worlds stacked on top of each other could be problematic, but if you want to cross your fingers and believe, that's something you can do. So yeah, with that said, let's move on to the next question, shall we? Which comes in from the Weevil123. So how did you get the battle mode beta, and when will it come out? So I answered this more in an earlier video, but even when I did that, people still left in the comments, and I guess they're not watching 8 minutes into here. But for anyone out there who just actually wants to know, there was no battle mode beta. They made a beta version of the game for 2 events. I believe there was one in America, San Francisco, and one in London. And then they, you know, let certain press people play. Again, I don't know how I got there, but they let certain press play, and I was just one of the people, so, you know, I can make videos and whatnot. And yeah, I was just somehow lucky enough to make myself one of those events, and that's how I managed to play battle mode before it came out. It comes out in June. That's when I'm excited for, because I only got to play 2 hours. I didn't get to play on my account, and I didn't get to play against, you know, public people. It was the same people over and over again. I'm looking forward to playing public games to see how they work and to kind of master the maps. I want to, you know, make some videos about how to best do each map, and yeah, stuff like that. So yeah, it'll be coming out in June. I'm excited just as much as all of you are. So let's move on to the next question, which comes in from Lewis. So Lewis says, do you know an exact release date for TU36, which kind of follows on from the last one. I do not know an exact release date. If I had to guess, though, I'm going to say mid to late June. You don't really say June as a release date if you mean June the 2nd. You probably, that probably means we don't know entirely yet, and that's probably because of the fact that, obviously, when it goes in certs, sometimes it fails certain certs. I would imagine it's going to be mid to late June. It could be a surprise and be like, June the 2nd or June the 3rd. I would hope not, but, we'll see how that goes. If it's early, that's awesome. As long as it's not June the 6th or 7th, because that's when I'll be in Spain. But any other day, I'm pretty happy with. So, June the 8th to 9th, I think it is. But yeah, with that said, it is 6th to the 7th. Anyway, with that said, let's move to the next question here, shall we? Or the final question, which comes in from KittyCatLover19, who asks, #QnA, are you living alone? If yes, I feel so sorry for you. So it's funny, I think I picked this one out there, because every now and then I get a Wild Bull question, and I'm like, So yeah, in this particular one, am I living alone? I am not. I actually live with parents and, younger siblings, very, very young, and they're the ones you hear in the background with videos. I feel sorry for me living with super young children, and that's the thing that I'm currently working on. If you are curious, by the way, house update, because I figured this is a relevant time to do it. Like I said, I've been trying to search for a while now. I found like 3 or 4 places, and now I'm like going through like several sets of negotiations at once. Buying a house is like a tricky process, but yeah, that's happening right now, and whenever I move in and stuff, there'll be a house tour. But until then, I could actually do, like, when you're doing one of those house tour, like, when you're doing a tour to see if you want to buy the place, I could totally do a pretend house tour in, like, someone else's house. That's a terrible idea, though. Anyway, yeah, that's to leave this one short, I don't live alone right now. I think I'd rather like to, at least for a little bit. And also, I am working on the place, still. I know a lot of you have been curious. That's been going on. So yeah, thank you everyone for the kind words and thoughts and stuff about that. And thank you for watching this video. If you did like it, like the video and let me know, share if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here. I make videos like this one every single day on my channel, and if you subscribe, you'll see them daily on your homepage. Thank you all very much for watching, and goodbye.